Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight for our Wellness Workshop. I'm Crystal Garvin, and I'm filling in for our usual host, Tanya Cottrell, while she is traveling. But I am joined by some fantastic teachers who are going to help me teach us all about wellness and foundational wellness, especially with doTERRA products and oils tonight. So it's kind of fun. We have four of us from four different states. So I'm in Tennessee, and we have Sylvia. She's in North Carolina, and Heather, she's in Missouri, and Jesse, who is also in Tennessee. Actually, we're in three different states, sorry, but four of us from four different locations. So it's fun to join in from different places. And I would love to see where some of you who are guests live with us tonight are joining from. So if you would want to pop that into the chat, we are going to use the chat feature off and on through the class so we can kind of warm it up. If you would like to pop in there where you're joining us from, that would be great. A couple of other things. Oh, hey, Crystal from Florida. Good to have you. Another Crystal. A few things that you'll want to know. It's really helpful to have a paper and pen or a way to take notes. There's a lot of information that's about to come at you. Hey, Holly in North Carolina. And we're going to be here together for about 45 to 50 minutes. You'll want to stay on till the end because there is a giveaway, and I am actually doing some extra special giveaways because it's BOGO week, so there's extra chances to win tonight for those who are live. And like I said, we will be using this chat feature off and on. So let me go ahead and share my screen here, and you'll see our faces go away, but I just wanted you to see the faces of those who are teaching tonight. And then we'll have some slides for you to follow along for some additional information. So we are going to guide you through a simple class on wellness. It's very thorough, but it is simple. And wellness can be really such a nuanced word in our culture today. So that's why we call this Wellness Made Simple. We really want to make it accessible so that it's not overwhelming. You may have already kind of an idea of how to approach health goals, but there's conflicting advice out there, right? And it might leave you questioning how to act. Some people tell you to count your macros. Others insist that you eat more vegetables. Some say don't eat any vegetables, only eat meat, right? And so the advice is well intended, but you've probably noticed that with all the increased access to information we have, the noise of it tends to leave a lot of people feeling more confused. And part of that is because we're each different. We're not bioidentical to each other. And so it can be different for each of us. So if you can relate to that, you're definitely not alone. Most people are feeling that. And our hope is by teaching you a simple science-backed way to approach your wellness, you will feel empowered to create daily habits and you won't want to skip them. And you'll also see lasting changes to your well-being by doing that. So maybe you thought doTERRA only sold essential oils. That's a pretty common misconception. A lot of people think that. There's actually a lot more to doTERRA than the oils. We're going to look at foundational products that are key for creating a healthy home for yourself, for your family. You can use these products and feel confident that you are nourishing and supporting the people you love most, and also that includes yourself. And doTERRA makes wellness so simple for me and for my family that I love to share how to make wellness simple in your life too. First, I want to introduce you to something called the wellness diagram. And this is the framework that we use to create a health and well-being from a foundational level. So it serves as a reliable roadmap for holistic well-being with nutrition and digestion forming the foundation level that you can see there at the bottom. Because at doTERRA, we believe optimal health starts within. By prioritizing that foundational level of nutrition, you lay the groundwork for a really vibrant, thriving life. But most of us learn to tackle health issues from the top. And so we've turned to a pill or some kind of medical care first. And there's absolutely a time and a place for that. But when people learn how to work from the bottom up, many health issues disappear and they don't need to rely nearly as much on synthetics or appointments. So health of the organism starts at the cellular level. All matter is made of atoms, and atoms make up molecules. Molecules make up cells. Cells make up tissues, and tissues make up organs. Organs make up systems, and systems make up the human body. So it's really important to recognize that cells are the foundation of our health. And I love this slide. It's pretty. It looks like stained glass windows or something. Cells require something to be healthy, though. Science calls them cofactors. We call them vitamins and minerals. This is where you can see the intricacy and beauty of several vitamins and minerals under a microscope. Without adequate amounts of these, our cells cannot function correctly, and we experience dysfunction, disease, and negative symptoms that can cause a lot of obstacles in our day-to-day lives. Here's just one example of how this actually plays out in our cells. So you're looking at a diagram of a hemoglobin molecule. It's made up of 4 chains, 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains, and each of these make up something called a heme group. Notice there's a little tiny molecule of iron tucked into each heme group. Iron's a mineral, and without iron, our cells can't make hemoglobin, and we need that to help our red cells carry oxygen to every tissue in the body. So iron is the cofactor, and that's what helps our blood cells do their job. When we don't have enough iron, then we don't get enough oxygen to our cells, and we start to have symptoms like fatigue, headaches, confusion, restlessness, rapid heart and respiratory rates, difficulty breathing, or maybe even anxious feelings, hypoxia. You get the idea. So the good news is that our bodies are made to work and function well when they have the vitamins and minerals they need. However, most people are significantly deficient in many critical important vitamins and minerals. So if we were able to easily get what we really needed from the food we eat, we wouldn't even need to talk about this. But unfortunately, a lot of the foods we eat are totally void of nutrients that we need. Our soils often depleted of essential minerals. Today's healthy foods are different from historic diets that our genes were designed for. And so for thousands of years, agricultural breeding has had the goal of improving yield and taste, and sometimes even the look of our produce. And since many micronutrients don't taste good or don't look pretty, they've inadvertently been bred out of our food. An example of this is wild apples that were once readily available have about 100 times more phytonutrients and much more vitamin C than apples you buy in the grocery store. That's just one example of what happened to the entire food supply. So according to the Environmental Working Group, most American adults are far below the EAR, and that's the estimated average recommended levels for key nutrients. 95% of US adults are deficient in vitamin D, 94% are deficient in vitamin E, 61% are deficient in magnesium. And the results of nutrient deficiency, again, because we are each unique, that's going to vary from person to person, but it could include inflammation, headaches, lack of sleep, foggy thinking, lack of energy, recurrent digestive issues. So if any of that sounds like something you or someone you love is dealing with, stay tuned. Inadequate nutrition is the #1 cause of poor health, which is why smart supplementation is really critical. But we also need to be careful which supplements we choose. We need supplements that actually work and absorb. It's a critical part of the equation. So if you just take a peek at the supplement industry, there was a study by the FDA from 2007 to 2016, and it detected contaminants in 776 dietary supplements produced by 146 companies. Those of you who are live will pop the chat in the chat. We'll pop the study link if you want to look at that. If you're watching the recording, just ask the person who shared it with you, and we can get you that link if you'd like to see it. A study of 3 leading memory supplements found that 2 of them didn't even contain the active ingredient listed on the label at all. There's another link for that study. So the supplement industry is not heavily regulated. They can contain lots of fillers and not much of the actual active ingredients. But we have good news to share in this workshop. We're going to introduce you to a couple of simple foundational tools that can take the overwhelm out of your nutrition and help you fill in all of those gaps that you may have in your nutrition. And so I'm going to turn it over next to Sylvia to share more with us about that.
First, I'm going to introduce you to this hero product. It is called VMG Plus. So VMG stands for vitamins, minerals, and greens. This is a nutritional powder that you just mix with water to make a really delicious mango pineapple flavored drink. It dissolves completely, and it really does taste delicious. But even more importantly, it's designed to completely optimize foundational wellness. VMG Plus is packed with over 90 premium ingredients, including whole food vitamins and minerals, fruits, vegetables, enzymes, and other essential nutrients. The creation of VMG Plus was really a redefining of the concept of the daily multivitamin. There truly is nothing else on the market that delivers nutrition like this one does. And we are going to explain what makes it so special over the next few slides. First, you can be assured that all of the vitamins come from food. Most supplements on the market utilize synthetic vitamins, which can be very problematic. Synthetics do not work as well, and in some cases, they can actually cause problems in your body. They also do not absorb well. A lot of people are spending money on vitamins that they end up flushing down the toilet, literally. When you drink VMG Plus, your body will receive those nutrients in the same way that it receives the nutrients that it gets from food. There are two very important factors that set VMG Plus apart from all the other supplements: bioavailability and bioretention. So let me explain to you what those terms mean. Bioavailability, it's just a fancy way of saying absorption. When these nutrients reach your small intestines, the body absorbs them at an incredible level so that your cells are able to utilize them well. VMG was formulated with a special blend of essential oils that work together to increase the absorption of the nutrients in the product. A clinical trial was done, and the bioavailability was measured with and without this added blend. The results were astonishing. This addition, called the bioavailability blend, increased the bioavailability of the nutrients over 400%. They also tested the blood at time intervals for the VMG after VMG was consumed, and found that bioretention level was off the charts. So when they tested the blood 8 hours later, the nutrients were still present and available for cellular usage. This is unheard of in the industry, and it means that your cells receive a much bigger impact than they'd get from another supplement, even if the nutrient amount is listed higher. This essential oil-based bioavailability blend is a driving force behind the successful delivery of critical nutrients to your cells. In addition, VMG was formulated with something called liposomal technology. This means that nutrients are encapsulated with a liquid barrier that allows them to protect and deliver more effectively to the bloodstream and the cells.
All right, so what does this mean? It means there are bigger factors aside, like she said, from the quantities that are on a label. In fact, you might even find another supplement has the same or an even higher amount of a certain vitamin listed on the label, but what you actually get to your cells could be a whole lot less. So we'll just look at a quick example of this. The absorption of calcium into the body compared to 3 leading supplements on the market shows that AG1, that's a green drink that's heavily marketed as a complete nutritional product, and it does have a really impressive label, but unfortunately many consumers don't realize there are lots of synthetics contained in the formula, and the high quantities on the label don't necessarily mean it will deliver the nutrition adequately to your cells. Whereas VMG revealed 100% absorption rate of calcium, less than 10% of the calcium in AG1 was absorbed, and less than 18% from Power Greens, another popular brand, was absorbed. So the big takeaway here is that bioavailability matters.
Okay, I think I can slip back in now. Sorry about that. So now let's take a look at a few different vitamins and minerals and compare the absorption levels when VMG was tested with liposomal delivery and without. This is the difference the liposomal formula made on the absorption of vitamin C. You can see here that the bioavailability increased it by more than 4 times, or over 400%. 400%, y'all. Vitamin E increased by over 500%. And iron increased by over 600%. This point is a simple one, but it's very important to so many people. So have you ever heard of something called supplement fatigue? A lot of people, they simply just get tired of having to swallow a lot of pills or capsules. And many people find that a liquid formulation is easier and it's more enjoyable way to get their vitamins in. It's quick, it's easy to mix up, and it tastes like a delicious green smoothie. Here's another very important fact to know about VMG. This unique formula contains pre-methylated vitamin Bs. So have you ever heard of something called the MTHFR gene mutation? If not, you're not alone. So I'm going to give you a quick summary and I'll tell you why this matters. So the MTHFR is an enzyme that's essential for processing certain B vitamins and converting them into forms that the body can actually use. When there is a mutation in the MTHFR gene, this enzyme's efficiency is compromised. It hinders the metabolism of these B vitamins. This often causes a lot of problems for people, and they don't even realize that their body is not getting what it needs. They're taking their vitamins, but they don't understand they're not getting their Bs. So this mutation impacts up to about 40% of the population. And of those 40%, about 90% don't even know that they've got it. So that's where the pre-methylated B vitamins come into play. These vitamins, they're already in their active, ready-to-use forms, which makes them more easily absorbed and used, especially for individuals with the MTHFR mutation. VMG Plus includes these pre-methylated B vitamins, ensuring optimal absorption and effectiveness for everyone, with particular benefit for those that need it most. The science is interesting and compelling, but what really stands out, that's your testimonials. When somebody starts feeling better, that speaks volumes. Now, I'm going to give you some examples here of feedback messages from some people that have been using the VMG, but first I'm going to tell you a very personal one that's from my husband just from today. So he's been taking VMJ only for about a month. He's been taking capsules for years, but he decided he wanted to start getting in on the drink. So he's been drinking it for about a month or so. And then yesterday, he told me today that yesterday he didn't take it to work. He didn't take it because he usually drinks it at work on his breakfast. And he said that. I said, well, how did you feel? And he said, I wasn't rolling like normal. So that means he wasn't being able to work as fast. So his job is pretty strenuous and he's got to work pretty fast. So that tells me it's working for him. And then here's another one. So my 74-year-old mom has been drinking VMG Plus for 3 weeks and she has never felt better. She was always tired and she had a hard time getting up in the morning because she was sluggish and not motivated. Now she wakes up feeling rested and refreshed with so much energy and she loves this drink. Here's another one. I knew I needed to take better care of myself. I'm a healthy eater, but with my blood work looking poor, I needed help. I have been researching liquid supplements, and I am so glad to find doTERRA. I've been on VMG for only 3 weeks and feel the difference already. And here's one more. I am loving this VMG Plus. It's convenient and it tastes delicious. I'm only on day 4, but I feel less inflammation in my joints. All right, y'all, now I'm going to turn this over to Heather, and she's going to tell you about the other 2 supplements that make up our foundational wellness.
Okay, hi. We're going to change gears now and talk about the omega fatty acids, specifically omega-3, 6, and 9. I'm eager to share about this next piece of the foundational wellness puzzle because me and my daughter, she's 9, we love this one. The omega-9s are found in things like olive oil, so most people get plenty of that. However, the ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 is a major problem to be aware of, though. Ideally, we should have a ratio of about 1 to 1. The typical American has a ratio of 1 to 16. This means that if we aren't adequately supplementing omega-3, most of us are severely low. Omega-3 is very anti-inflammatory, so this is not something to ignore. These illustrations represent cell membranes, which are composed of lipids and fats. Have you ever had a doctor explain to you that you need to be taking fish oil or omega-3s in order to keep your joints moving without pain or stiffness? This illustration reveals the reason behind that. Omega-3 is a polyunsaturated fatty acid. When you have adequate amounts, your cell membranes are made up of lipids with these tails that have kinks in them. Those kinks give your cells fluidity, and they help you to move without stiffness. Without these, your body builds cell walls out of saturated fats, which are rigid and stiff. Omega-3s really matter when it comes to feeling young and staying active. So this brings us to our second foundational product solution, E-Omega Plus Essential Oil Mega Complex. Just like VMG, this absorbs at a very high rate due to the inclusion of essential oils. E-Omega includes wild orange essential oil, which has a unique ability of both aiding in the absorption of the omega-3 and also acting as a powerful natural preservative that keeps those lipids fresh and effective. In addition to joint comfort and maintaining a limber body, E-Omega contributes to a healthy heart, keeping inflammation in check, supporting brain and nervous system function, and keeping your digestion, respiratory function, and skin healthy. With the inclusion of wild orange essential oil, testing revealed at 454% in absorption. Upon releasing this product, doTERRA looked at a test kit data from a large cross-section of those who started taking it daily. The results were astounding. Participants had their blood tested prior to starting on E-Omega, and then they were tested again after 6 weeks of using the product. 100% of the participants had a remarkable improvement in their omega-3 levels. Many of these participants were previously taking an omega-3 supplement, but this new formulation offered a profound improvement. We've talked about 2 smart supplementation tools that work together to give you a foundation of nutrition, vitamins, minerals, and omega-3 fatty acids. But there's one more component that we need to look at for a complete foundation of health, and that's the microbiome. The microbiome is the community of microorganisms that live in our body or in or on the human body. These microorganisms include bacteria, fungi, and other pathogens. A healthy microbiome is important because it helps with many bodily functions, including our digestion, immune system, and nutrient breakdown. Did you know that you're technically more microbiome than you are human? It's true. There are about 100 trillion cells in the human microbiome and only 32 trillion human cells in our body. Most people think about the gut when they think about the microbiome, and that is a very important component, but your microbiome exists throughout your body and even your lungs and your skin. Your microbiome has many important functions like digesting food, educating and supporting the immune system, preventing pathogens from invading and infecting, making vitamins that our body can't make itself, and supporting the nervous system by making neurotransmitters. doTERRA's third foundational solution is called PB Restore Probiome Complex. Excuse me. This is such a unique capsule. You only need to take one per day because so much is packed into this one capsule. You can see that there's a capsule inside a capsule here. The outer capsule is enteric coated, which allows it to pass through the stomach without being eroded by stomach acid. If you've been on a probiotic before, I'm sorry to tell you that very little of the live organisms likely made it to your small intestines, where they need to populate because the stomach acids kill off the majority of them. This duo capsule, however, is able to stay intact until it reaches the small intestine, where it's finally dissolved and the contents are released. This is not your average probiotic supplement. Each capsule contains what we call the 4 Ps. So let's take a look at these 4 Ps. First are the probiotics. One capsule contains 10 billion CFUs, or colony-forming units, specifically 24 strands from 22 species. And then we have the prebiotics, which are ingestible fibers that feed these helpful organisms so they can adequately populate. And then the third is the postbiotics, which protect the gut barrier, regulate gut motility, support healthy weight and insulin resistance, and protect against neurological degeneration, and deliver a lot of other positive benefits. Phages help to maintain a healthy bacterial balance by selectively encouraging the growth of good bacteria while attacking the bad. These are some of the fascinating results from a 6-week clinical trial. Statistically, we're seeing improvements from every participant in the trial. The red bars show the level of gut dysfunction and life interference they were experiencing before starting TB Restore. And the white bars show the reduction of negative factors in their gut health. For example, we see a great reduction in the need to avoid certain foods or the avoidance of social activities. These improvements make a massive difference in quality of life for so many people. It's important to remember that gut health is not the only function that is impacted by improving your microbiome. Your immune system is primarily centered in the gut, as is the production of the neurotransmitters. So PB Restore often brings a significant positive impact to immune function and mental and emotional health. Even if you don't struggle with gut discomfort, your microbiome can't be ignored. It's amazing how balancing the microbiome has profoundly affected others in a variety of wellness issues. So let's look at a couple of testimonials that shed light on the PB Restore impacts the microbiome on the skin. This is one of our wellness advocates, Tanya. She shared this. I'd been fighting with a very stubborn wart on the top of my thumb for 2 years. I tried everything, natural and conventional, but it continued to grow very large and become more painful. I was so shocked when it rapidly shrunk and completely disappeared just 2 weeks after starting on PB Restore. That's when I knew my microbiome was improving dramatically. Another wellness advocate shared this. I have a customer who had a couple of little warts on her hands and one on her foot. She started taking PB Restore 2 months ago, and her little warts are gone. She hasn't put anything else on them. And then this one is incredible. I just wanted to share with you that my hot flashes have completely stopped since I have been taking this. I had implemented other things to reduce the severity of them, but PB Restore was the missing piece. I am so thrilled. So I'm going to pass it over now to Jessie.
Thanks, Heather. So let's recap and review. These 3 products together offer the best foundational wellness solution you can find, and they're super easy to use. Each day you mix up and drink one of the VMG Plus packets or sachets. Then you take 3 Omega soft gels. And here's a fun tip. If you don't like to swallow the large capsules, you can actually chew these. It sounds crazy, especially with omega fatty acids, but most people really like taking them this way, and there's 0 fish oil taste. I can attest to this. I've taken them myself, and they just give you a delicious burst of orange, that wild orange essential oil in there in your mouth. You can swallow the capsule shell or spit them out, whichever you prefer. You can even puncture one to squirt it into your child's mouth for an easy kids version. And the third step is to take the PB Restore capsule. That's it. That's your whole routine for the whole day. It's simple to do, and you give your body a profound and complexly positive impact. You might be wondering, though, like, what about essential oils? And what is doTERRA doing with that? That's a great question. We've talked a lot about doTERRA's foundational supplements, but doTERRA is also the world's largest, most tested, and trusted essential oil company. Essential oils are an important part of addressing your health goals. However, the oils you choose to use most frequently will be somewhat unique to you. We call this targeted wellness. You've learned about foundational supplements, and here you see doTERRA's 12 foundational essential oils. These are the most versatile and frequently used oils. And if I were you, I would take a screenshot of this, because you'll want to focus on building up your collection so you have at least these 12 powerful tools at your disposal. So how does this work together? I encourage you to pay attention to this point, because it's the secret to unlocking the most powerful benefits in your health. Every function in your body is a result of a metabolic pathway, and it occurs at a microscopic level. Essential oils turn on the pathway like a key starts the ignition of a car. Nutrition fuels the pathway like gas in the fuel tank. So you need both hand in hand together. You need smart supplementation because you need your tank full, but your body is going to be a much more effective machine when you also incorporate essential oils. Now, we told you that this workshop was going to make foundational wellness easy to understand. We're all about simple. So you might laugh a little when I show you the next slide, but stick with me. I think you'll find this helpful. A lot of people get confused when we talk about pathways. So we're going to answer the question, what is a pathway in a very simple way? This is a pathway. This is the immune system pathway. This is just one. Is obviously far from simple, but don't worry, you don't have to understand any of it. Your body knows what it's doing. It all happens automatically. It just needs a little help so it can do its job more efficiently and effectively. A pathway is a sequence of chemical and metabolic functions where one action triggers another action and creates a positive outcome. Remember, you need adequate nutrition to fuel this process, but essential oils play a powerful role as well. They are the signals for the pathway. Let me show you an example of how this works for this immunity pathway specifically. First, we'll look at the role of our 3 foundational supplements. Components in these stimulate and support immune cells in many ways. T cells are supported. Immune cell development is stimulated. Immune cells are educated or instructed by healthy bacteria in the microbiome, and the list goes on and on. Notice that vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant and a powerful anti-inflammatory that strengthens your immune system. Did you know that your body cannot manufacture or store vitamin C? You have to actively take it each and every day. Now let's look at the essential oil blend on Guard, which is generally used for immune support. A published study revealed this. On Guard robustly affected signaling pathways related to immune function and cell cycle control. So On Guard turns on the pathway, and all of our foundational supplements give the nutritional fuel for that pathway to work optimally. One of our physicians at doTERRA put it this way: if the pathway of the immune system is not functioning optimally, then the nutrients simply go to waste. You're giving the system the gas, but you haven't turned it on. It's important to note that not just any essential oil on the shelf will work. doTERRA is the most tested and trusted for a reason. In this independent study conducted by Roseman University, doTERRA oils were found to be therapeutically relevant in cell growth and rejuvenation, metabolic health, and healthy inflammatory responses. In addition, essential oils from different competitors had minimal effects. The study concludes that the therapeutic potential of essential oils is highly dependent on the complete composition of the oil. Sourcing, processing, and characterization of the oil are critical. Let's take a look at what makes doTERRA different and in a league of its own in the essential oil industry. The oils are pure, no fillers, no synthetic ingredients, and no dilution. doTERRA sources oils from plants grown in their ideal environments. This makes all the difference in the chemical profile and therapeutic effectiveness of the oil. Every batch of oil is tested for ideal chemistry and consistency. More than 54 tests are done on each batch of doTERRA oils, from the farmer to the consumer. Y'all, that's a lot of testing for one batch. doTERRA oils can be used topically, aromatically, and internally. People turn to doTERRA because they want safe, affordable, and effective solutions for their family's health. doTERRA not only distills essential oils from plants grown in the ideal climate, wherever they grow best on the planet, but they also source with an incredible above fair trade model called the Co-Impact Sourcing Initiative. The doTERRA mission to pursue what's pure includes tripling our impact in everything we do, and you're key to that goal. From the moment you use any doTERRA product, you're making an impact on both sides of the bottle, at home or in a community across the world where that oil is sourced. So, what does it look like to pair foundational supplements with essential oils for other targeted needs? I'm going to show you a few quick examples of common combinations that people like to use. This is what you do if you want to experience better sleep. Incorporating the essential oil-based Serenity sleep system into your nighttime routine is a simple yet powerful way to impact your sleep quantity and quality. In fact, there's an incredible epigenetic clinical trial that revealed astounding data on the benefits of supporting sleep with this system. Participants in the 6-week trial showed a 7-year drop in the biological age of their brains. It's incredible that we can reverse our age in our brains when we pair essential oils with foundational nutrition to create a higher quality of sleep every night. So if you're feeling stressed or anxious, you may consider adding balance and adaptive essential oils. Pairing the foundational supplements with Deep Blue and Copaiba is a great way to address pain and discomfort. Digestin and Terrazyme are very helpful if you have specific digestive health issues to address. In addition to On Guard, Breathe is a great oil to have on hand for immune support because it helps to open up respiratory pathways when you're feeling congested or stuffy. And the MetaPower system is a wonderful addition if you need help getting your blood sugar and metabolism balanced. The Healthy Foundation Starter Kit is our most popular choice because it comes with both the Foundational Wellness Bundle and 10 of the most popular foundational oils. This kit qualifies for a free gift choice, and most people choose the Pebble Diffuser shown here. And I'm going to turn it back over to Crystal.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. And thank you to all of you teachers. And we're going to head into the final segment of the workshop. But before I do the giveaway and talk about that, I'm going to give you some helpful getting started tips and some resources and show you some ways to save money on your products. So remember this diagram from the very beginning of the workshop? Well, this is a different way to see the diagram. Think about the products you learned about and how they can fit into this diagram to restore and vitalize your health from the foundation up. As you choose the products you want to incorporate into your daily routine, I advise you to work your way from the foundational level that we talked about, the foundational level being nutrition, that VMG, the E omega, the probiome, probiotics, and then start with those supplements. After that, you can incorporate specific oils or oil-based products to address your top health priorities first, like Jesse said, targeted wellness. So it's like peeling an onion. You can work on your wellness goals in layers, and your wellness advocate and all of us here in our oil community will be here to support you and support each other all along the way. So if you're like me, you've probably been wondering, what do these products cost? So we don't hide that. We have good news for you. First, doTERRA has strategically bundled nutrition into fewer products, and that allows you to take in a lot of nutrition in fewer steps, but also with fewer dollars. If you look at VMG specifically, to buy individual supplements that create a protocol to cover all the categories that VMG encompasses, you'd pay at least $250. VMG delivers a higher quality, higher absorption, but it only costs $89.50. Now, even though that's a great price, a great value, we understand sometimes even that is just out of budget for some people. And if that's a concern you have, in a few minutes, I'm going to show you a slide that you'll want to pay attention to. Just even take a screenshot because I've got some tricks, some tips that have helped a lot of people on tighter budgets afford what they need. It is really important that you order through a discount link that you can get from the person who invited you to this workshop. And the price I shared with you is the wholesale price. It is very easy to get access to wholesale pricing though, because when you use someone's discount link, doTERRA gives you a free wholesale customer account with your first order, no matter the size of your order. And that waives the $35 entrance fee, and it gets you access to shopping at a 25% discount every time you shop. There are no ordering obligations. You'll also have access to some amazing perks like the rewards program and a personal refer a friend link. So if you fall in love with a product, you want to refer friends, but you don't necessarily want to sell doTERRA, you can get a kickback like an affiliate. And it just puts doTERRA dollars in your account that you can spend like cash on doTERRA products or even on your tax if you have sales tax and shipping. So both of these ways provide ways for you to earn points and also account credit that you can use to get a lot of your products for free. You'll also have access to amazing community support and ongoing education with your membership. I have to tell you about another really great perk that doTERRA will send you with your first foundational wellness bundle order. You get this beautiful glass shaker bottle. It's perfect for mixing up your VMG every day. And you'll also get a free bottle of peppermint, one of those 12 foundational wellness oils. So first, whenever you reorder, I recommend doing it through a rewards cart. You'll see that on the site. It's easy to order this way. The benefit is you earn points back on your orders. You can cash those out like dollars on future orders. And the longer you order this way, the higher your point earning climbs until you reach a VIP status where you're getting 30% of your order back in points. Every month you can qualify for a free essential oil because rewards customers have access to the free product of the month too. So it's a great way to collect all 12 foundational oils absolutely free. If you haven't done it yet, I encourage you to join our Facebook community. It's called Drop by Drop, and that's where you'll see links to upcoming wellness classes. You'll see people asking questions, providing answers, sharing testimonials. You'll have access to a lot of product support there. It's a great place for you to ask your questions. So we'll put that link in the chat. And be sure to click on that, request to join, and we'll get you added in there. So this is a very special week at doTERRA. Those who are watching live or in the next couple of days, we have BOGOs going on this week. I do have to tell you that the last one on this image, Passion and Cheer, has already sold out along with the entire bundle, which came with a free box, but we still have the others available through tomorrow. And if you do order 150 PV, that's the product value, you get a free Roman chamomile. So there's a lot to love about these specials this week. And we do have a special BOGO group also where we're doing a whole bunch of giveaways. So speaking of giveaways, it is time for you to enter to win. There is a link there. There's also a QR code that you can scan. And the prize for this month is Bergamot Mint. It's a really wonderful oil. I love Bergamot Mint. It's one of the oils that's in our Super Mint blend. And I also, because it's BOGO week, I wanted to throw in some extra fun giveaways. So I am doing another giveaway for every 3 people who enter on the entry form. So make sure you enter. So if there's 15 of you who enter for this class, then I'll draw 5 additional prizes in addition to that Bergamot Mint. And these are all examples of things I have, but I would actually just send you a list and let you choose if your name is drawn. So you just enter. No one's going to spam you or contact you a whole bunch. The person who invited you will reach out to you to see if you have questions. No one else is going to contact you unless you are a winner. So that just gives us your contact information so we can reach out to you and figure out where to send your prize if you are a winner. So while you are submitting your entry, I'll let you know about our next couple of events. Next Tuesday, July 1st, we have what's called the Path to $500 and Beyond. So if you are interested in earning extra income, doTERRA is a very generous company. I've been doing this for 12 years and it's been such a blessing to my family. I love teaching others how to do this as well. So that's something we do once a month just to show you what that would look like. We do have a clear path to $500 a month. If that would make a difference in your life, we would love to show you how to do that. And it can be beyond, of course, as well, depending on the amount of time you have to put in and what your goals are. But it is another great way to be able to afford your products by sharing with others. You can make up the cost of your products so that they're free in that way as well, and you can go beyond that. And then we have this Wellness Made Simple class a couple times a month. Sometimes we'll switch it out with a different health topic, but in July, we're going to do the same Wellness Made Simple class twice. So you can see the dates there. Tell your friends about this and invite them. You'll get more entries for our prize giveaways if they put your name down as the person who invited them. But we always encourage any new guests to order through the person who invited them. So whether you are a wellness advocate or a wholesale customer using that refer a friend link, you will get the benefit of that. But your friends will benefit from getting that 25% off free for their first year, and also being able to address health issues like we've talked about at the foundational level is life-changing. They will definitely thank you for that. Okay. So just one final thought for you here before we close out. The heart attack at 50 began at 20. The Alzheimer's at 70 started at 40. The loss of independence at 80 began at 30. And the aging you want tomorrow begins with a choice you make today. So I just want to leave you with that as encouragement to get started today. It's the best time to get started on working on your wellness from the foundational level. Thank you for being with us. We look forward to supporting you on your wellness journey. Good night, everybody.